Okay, introduction to Palmas. Now we're just going to talk mostly about technique in this particular video, but I do want to touch on functionality and importance of Palmas. Now if you're taking this online study, you've already seen, it's because you already know how important Palmas are. You've probably experienced as a flamenco situations where you wish you had really good Palmas, because if you've ever had good Palmas while you're dancing, playing guitar, singing, playing cajon even, then you notice how much easier your job is. Suddenly you don't have to work so hard. Sometimes people ask me, oh, you worked with such and such a person, you know, they're of a good high level. Was that hard? And actually I tell them it's the opposite. Because if you're working with somebody that has a sense of ease about what they do because they're good at it, because they understand how to swing, then my job all of a sudden, I feel like I've been made better automatically. And actually that's true. Every time you give good palmas for somebody, you're making them better, or at least enabling them to do what they are capable of. You're helping them to reach their potential. And that's really our job as palmeros, is just to help people be their best, to reach their potential. If we have to think about struggling through a piece because we're not necessarily all connected on the same pulse, then it makes everybody's job a little more difficult. But we can really make it a joyful experience for everybody by giving them superb palmas, and that's what we're going to work on right now. So, two ways of doing palmas: sordas and claras. And there's other ways too, but these are the two basic ways. So sordas is just you cupping your hands together to make a muffled sound like this. So you can see I just kind of cupping my hands here, keeping my thumbs out of the way so I can fit my hands together, and getting a nice muffled sound like that. Now that's simple enough. I think pretty much everybody can do this. Now claras is a little bit more difficult. I'm going to give you a basic template to work from when it comes to claras. This may or may not work for you, but a lot of people do it this way. You may find that if you adjust your hands in a different positioning, or you find some other little trick, you might get a better sound. Everybody's hands are different, so my thought on it is try what I teach you, and if you find something that specifically for you gives you a better sound with your claras, then by all means go to that. So long as you can go fast, you can go strong, and not falter. Okay. So this triangle here of the hand is going to be where you're putting these three fingers. I'm keeping this pinky out of the way because sometimes it ends up muffling the high-pitched sound that we're trying to get. So I keep this out of the way. I keep my fingers somewhat elongated. I don't do it overly so, and I don't hold tension necessarily, but I just engage my hands like this. You want to remain loose as often as you can, no matter what style of palmas you're doing. And from there, I'm just putting this in here and covering this little tight pocket that I've made over my hand here. So you want a nice high-pitched sound like that. So let's put it to the test. Let's do our sordas, let's do our claras. We're going to do tangos, 4-count rhythm, accenting on the 2 and 4, very slowly. And just want to work and try to get a good sound. Number one, if you get a good sound with each of those, then you can start to think about variations and other fun things to do. But for right now, let's work on the basics. So we're going. Okay, that's a good little exercise just to get your sordas going. Claras, same pattern, but we're going to switch to claras now. So we're going. Now you might have seen that I was struggling there to get just the right sound. You got to find that sweet spot. Sometimes you'll find that if you hold your arms a certain way or not positioned just right, your sound might not be as good as you'd like it to be. So those are things to always keep in mind. So now let's talk about some exercises you can do to improve your palmas. Now the claras, I would have you just do 4 counts of singles and 4 counts of duples. So that's this. If I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 per beat, then that's singles. If I'm doing duples, I'm going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's two sounds per beat. So I'm going to do 4 singles, 4 duples. So you want to start out fairly slow, see what you can handle. Okay, then take it up faster than that if you find that you can handle that well and get some good sound. Now for that exercise, we're not concerned so much with swing as we are just getting a loud sound, just so you know how to do it. Then if you know you can get those louder sounds, then it's very easy to pull back and decrease the volume so that you can start to think about swing later. But go ahead and work on that. You could do the same pattern for sordas. Now sordas are a little bit easier to get going faster, I think, sometimes. Because it doesn't take as much effort to get a loud sound as it does, and a correct sound as it does with claras. So work on those two things. Work on getting your tools nice and refined and get a good sound. And then work on the patterns that we learned in the other videos very methodically, and I'll have it lined up for you on the site there. And you'll be well on your way to doing some good palmas.